A dimension of Judaism has been opened up to me, which is called the third ear. Everyone knows about the third eye. They know about the third hand, the Yad Ramah, but no one ever talks about the third ear. David HaKohen, the Nazir associated with Cook in Israel, used to talk about the auditory phenomenon of Judaism, and that the ear, therefore, one should listen with the ear and hear what is being spoken to you. And that's what I actually believe, that you're being spoken to at all times, but have to develop this inner ear. Quite frankly, the outer ears are so preoccupied with listening to the outside world, the noises of the outside world, that you don't hear the inner ear. One of the ways to get that inner ear is to put your fingers in your ear, or to put the flap over and maybe speak and hear a different voice. Or just to listen to the cosmos and to the sound that's really inside. You're being spoken to, but you don't know it, you see. So what you have to do is really listen. Theodore Reich wrote a book called Listening with the Third Ear for psychoanalysis, and that's what you actually have to do. And the reason I'm even doing this about the third ear is that yesterday I was in the park playing on the wall, and some guy was like running past my space, purposely encroaching in my space. And I knew it because this is what I'm used to. And then all of a sudden, from the other side of the park, a soccer ball comes across my space. And I look up and he goes, oh. He like kicked the ball and it went across my space. So when he ran around again, I said, you ought to tell a person a ball is coming at them, because I could step on it from the back. And I have to go to the hospital over there without insurance. And he says, I only know what I see. And that's what got me. Because that's almost halakhic, that you have to be an eyewitness. But there's a deeper level. There's something beyond what you see. And that's the voice that you hear. And what you feel. That is available sometimes with closed eyes for the third eye. That's why one closes his eyes for the Shema. You close your eyes for the Shema so that you can hear. See, you put the Aleph in front, that's Hashem itself, and close your eyes. The ayin, the large ayin in the Shema, the first word of Shema, are the eyes, and they're closed. And then we say the word, we say the Shema with the eyes closed, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, and stretch that dalet. And that dalet is the third ear. See? We're closing our eyes, and the dalet is the third ear, which is the dalet in the back of the tefillin. And that spot goes on the bump of the head, between the ears. And so the dalet of the tefillin strap is the third ear. And that in itself is the 50th gate of Bina. And that's one of the reasons that the second line of the Shema, when you say, Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto Li'olam Ve'ed, the dalet there is a dalet. The last letter is a dalet. The 49th letter is a dalet. So the 25th letter is a dalet, and then the 49th letter is a dalet. There are two dalets, the last letters, and that's sometimes maybe why the dalet is a double dalet. And that double dalet becomes a mem. And that mem is 600, like the last two letters, the din of Keta. And that 50th gate, which is the 50th gate of Bina, is the ear. And Judaism is from the ear, when you bore your ear to the door, which is very much like a mezuzah. And it's a mezuzah. And the Judaism is the ear, not the eye. Silence, hashmal. Silent speech. It's what you hear. And this spot on the back of the head, between the ears, is like the tefillin between the eyes. And there's a connection with the strap between the eyes and the ears. And this is deep, because it has to do with speech, and listening to speech, and the silence in speech. And the 50th gate of Bina, from Bina, we all know that Bina goes to Keta. It's how one gets into Keta. One comes down the tree from Keta to Hokmah, but not back up from Hokmah. You have to come back from Bina and the 50th gate. That's why there are 49 letters in the Shema, paralleling the 49 days of Shavuos, of the counting of the Omer, from Pesach to Shavuos. And then the 50th day to Shavuos. Where you heard and saw on Sinai. And maybe only heard the Aleph. And that's why the Aleph is in front. The Shema, because the Aleph is the 50th gate. That's Keta. It's one Aleph. We have 49 of the 49 counting of the Omer, and then the one. And this is to open up the ears. My brother's name is Shimon. Diminutive. Ear. Hearing. And when he was in his coma for a week, I touched the ear once. And his eye went to me. The 50th gate of Bina goes into the ayin. Aleph, Yud, Nun, into this level of nothingness. And that's where prophecy comes from. And that's what David HaKohen, the Nazir, suggests. And then Bina is the one that leads down into the rest of the seven Sephirot. In a certain sense, Bina here is da'as, in the back of the head. The two dalits are da'as. Dalit is da'as. It's the third ear. And so Judaism is beyond the eye. Even though it's Bina, the only way to get to Keta is through Bina. And that's where that whole idea of the feminine comes in. Because Bina represents the feminine, the manifestation of the Yud. It's almost like the Yud Hey, because the Yud Hey, Yud times Hey is 50. 10 times 5 is 50. That's 50th gate. There's a lot more in the 50th gate. About 50 itself. But for me, the opening of the third ear, which hasn't been talked about, which will be talked about by me, and this is only an introduction to the third ear. And prophecy itself, which is the goal of Judaism. And the ear is the auditory rather than the written. So in a certain sense, it's the oral Torah rather than the written Torah. But what happened with the oral Torah, it became written down, became text, became I. And we have to open up the ear. But that's the inner ear, to what was spoken to all the time. Everybody has an auditory language. You have to go to school and be channeled and be structured and be ruined to learn written words. You're already out when you know how to do this. Years, decades ago, I wrote a song. Keep on searching for a face. Disregard the name. Once you learn to read and write, all will be the same. Hear that? Keep on searching for a face. Disregard the name. Once you learn to read and write, all will be the same. You'll be ruined, dude. And dudess. I like that one. Dudess, I know. You'll be ruined once you know how to read. Because they manipulate you. And, they're talking about getting off the grid. Simple, get off the grid. Throw the cell phone away. You're off the grid. Nobody can get in touch with you. Nobody can know where you are. There is no more home phone. There's no phones in this. You're out. You don't have a cell phone, a smartphone. You're out, dude. And dudess. So they talk about, shutting the cell phone on Shabbos. Or there's one group that does it once a year. Throw it away. Want to open the third ear? Throw the cell phone away that you put to your ear. Or those plugs that you put in your ears. Want to hear your inner music? Throw those earplugs away. That's how you open the third ear. You know, Mordecai Leiner, the Ibitzer Hasidim, used to say that you're told what to do, and when you're not told what to do, then check the halakha. In other words, do whatever you think, intuit to do. And when you don't get a reading, when you don't get a hearing, you don't hear it, then you check the books of the regular halakha. But if you're hearing, then you don't check the books. See, what I'm interested in is the next level of Judaism. What's really the essence of halakha? What's really the secrets, the nista? How to read between the lines. What's really there in Hulin and Shehita? What's really there? What are they really saying? That's what I'm interested in. And you have to understand that the other thing is a cover to keep the people in power and to keep people from them true self. Even within the Jewish structure. How sad it is that one has to wait till the end of life to be able, I always perceive this, but it's not thrown down to you. This Rabbi David HaKohen stuff isn't even translated. So, you're not going to get it. So we're going to open the third ear. And this is just an introduction to the opening of the third ear and how it's in the back of the head at the knot of the tefillin. And in, I don't know what it is, yoga or something, we can cup that, Hit that spot. Rub that spot with 2 fingers. Open it up. Medulla oblongata. Looks like the Das spot. It's the third ear. And Das may be the third ear. And wouldn't that be funny if the third ear opened and Das and Keta. And that third ear is Keta, the 50th gate. And the Das is the 50th gate. And it appears, and you are an 11. And Bo Derek becomes an 11, not a 10.